Hi YouTube. So I wanted to do a pregnancy update. I am now 14 weeks and I had done a video a couple weeks ago about them finding extra fluid behind the baby's head, which was officially diagnosed as what's called a cystic hygroma, which is, it's not common, but it's not super rare either, but it's often associated with things like Down syndrome or other chromosomal abnormalities, or it could be like single gene mutations, things like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, um, or it can also be associated with like birth defects, primarily heart defects. So of course I was terrified. I had the blood test done, the NIPT blood test, and that test for the most common chromosomal things, like trisomy 18, 13, Down syndrome, and sex chromosome issues. And that all came back normal. And I found out I was having a girl, which we have 3 boys, so that was exciting. So I could breathe a little bit, but then I went back for another ultrasound, and sure enough, the fluid was still there. Everything else on the baby looked and functioned as normal for, what I was like 13 and a half weeks or something. And so anyway, they sent me to a genetic counselor to talk about the options, and I ended up doing the CVS procedure, which is chronic villi sampling. So they stick a needle that literally looks like it's almost a foot long. It's huge, and not all of it goes in, but they either put it into your abdomen or to your like down there, and take a sample of your placenta. It just depends on where your placental placement is. Thankfully for me, I got it in my belly. It was a little, I think, less traumatic in my opinion. And for any moms out there who are in the same boat and are really nervous, I'm glad I got it. There is a small percent chance of miscarriage, but because my placenta is in the front, they told me it was a very low chance for me because it would be very easy for them to access. And I was able to watch the whole thing on the ultrasound monitor, which was cool and weird at the same time. But it went nowhere near the baby or anything. So, from my personal experience, I would say get it if you need the peace of mind or answers. So anyway, my big update, this morning I got my results back and I was terrified because I'm just like chronically now Googling like, oh, what can this cause? Like what is the root cause of this this symptom that my baby has? And it's not good. Nothing's good. Well, anyway, all my results came back totally normal. They checked for every kind of chromosomal like micro deletion or like fragmentation, like any little thing that could be wrong with your chromosomes. They said everything was completely normal. So got all that rolled out. There's not a chromosomal abnormality, which overall ups the prognosis by a lot. And also they tested for single gene mutations like cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, Tay-Sachs disease, all those kind of things. And they all came back clear too, which was also a relief. So that just leaves structural abnormalities, which heart defects are the most common. I know the severity can vary a lot. I know my baby's heart looked normal as of 13-week scan, and they had a like 160s heartbeat. So I'm hoping that if that's the case, it's something minor. It also can just be a lymphatic blockage that from what I read, that lymphatic blockages usually clear by halfway through pregnancy. So I'm hoping that that's just the case and it's going to clear on its own. Also, from my Google screenings, I have come across I looked up skeletal issues that can be associated with it, because that's one that, a structural issue that can be associated. And I saw scoliosis was one. I actually have scoliosis, and it's a hereditary thing. It runs in my family. Like my father has it, my grandmother has it, and it can be present at birth. And I looked it up, and it actually can be associated with a cystic hygroma because they're both like a neural tube defect or something, or I think that's what it was, something like that. But they are associated or can be associated, so I might bring that up for them to look into, because that's the only chronic condition that I have personally. I know a lot of times these things are just random mutations, but baby didn't have a random gene or chromosome mutation, so we're pretty much at the point of it's either just a lymphatic blockage or it's a caused by like a birth defect, like a heart defect. So now it's really I'm glad I got good results, but it's also frustrating because it's just a waiting game and there's really nothing I can do about it other than wait till my next ultrasound scan in like 3 weeks. So I just gotta try to breathe and, go about my day. I mean, I personally feel fine. But just hard knowing that, the little baby could be suffering there, but she was moving around as normal and seemed just like all my other kids, other than this fluid pocket behind her head. So we'll see what happens, but I just wanted to give some hope to some other parents out there. If, for me, I had no other symptoms, but they diagnosed a cystic hygroma and everything did come back normal so far. I still have to get the answers for the structural stuff because they can't really tell a whole lot until baby gets bigger. So I have a 20-week scan. They also scheduled me for a 16-week just because they wanted to check on the fluid situation. And I'm hoping they can get a closer look at baby's heart, maybe get some answers, and just go from there. But if you're a parent going through this, oh, my heart goes out to you because I know I've been so stressed out and had so much anxiety over, which is, it's funny how I started out as this was not a planned baby and I had so much trepidation about it compared to my boys that I did plan. And it goes from that of like being like, oh, I don't know how I'm going to do this another time with my kids close in age to like, I want nothing more than for my baby to just be here and be healthy and happy. And so yeah, if you're going through this, you're not alone. It's a scary ride, but I'm just hoping everything turns out for the best, and baby girl will be born healthy. I know she's going to be very loved. She's got 3 older brothers that are really excited to meet her, and my husband and I are just praying each day and hoping that things work out. So if you have been through a similar situation, drop your situation in the comments because I'd love to read and find out what your outcome was, and hopefully it was positive, and if not, I'd still love to know. And again, my heart goes out to you. But best, and hopefully I'll be updating you soon, and hopefully it will be good news. Bye.